Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered how much the people thousands of years ago really knew about it? We like to think of ancient civilizations as primitive, but when it came to the stars, they might have been far more advanced than we give them credit for. Let's start with the Egyptians. The Great Pyramids at Giza aren't just giant tombs. They are also aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. And here's the kicker. Some researchers argue that the three pyramids line up with the three stars of Orion's belt. Now think about that. No satellites, no GPS, not even a telescope. Yet somehow, they managed to build monuments that mirror the heavens with near mathematical precision. And the Egyptians weren't the only ones staring at Orion. The ancient Greeks told stories of Orion the hunter, a giant who hunted with his dog Sirius. Yes, the same Sirius that is still the brightest star in our night sky. To them, the sky wasn't just decoration. It was a map, a clock, and a storybook. Speaking of clocks, let's jump over to England, Stonehenge. You've probably seen pictures of the giant stone circle. But here's what blows people's minds. Many of the stones align with the summer and winter solstices. On the longest day of the year, the sun rises in perfect alignment with the stones. That's not an accident. That's ancient astronomy carved into rock. Now let's move to the Mayans. These people weren't just building pyramids in the jungles of Central America. They were obsessed with the movements of the heavens. Their calendar system was so precise that it could predict solar and lunar eclipses. Imagine living in a time when the sun suddenly disappeared in the middle of the day. To the average person, that was terrifying, but to the Mayan priests, it was all part of the schedule. And here's where things get really mysterious. The Dogon tribe of Mali in West Africa. For centuries, their oral traditions claim knowledge of a star called Sirius B. The problem? Sirius B is a white dwarf star that is completely invisible to the naked eye. It was only officially discovered by modern astronomers in the 19th century using telescopes. So how did the Dogon know it was there? Was it passed down through ancient observation? Or, as some suggest, did they have help from visitors not of this earth? Now, I'm not saying little green men were out there teaching astronomy 5,000 years ago, but it does make you wonder, how did people with no modern instruments know so much? And here's a fun thought. Maybe the night sky back then was so much clearer, so much darker, that ancient people noticed patterns we can't even see today because of city lights. Imagine lying on your back every night. No Netflix, no phones, just stars. You'd start noticing things too. But here's what makes this whole question fascinating. Across the world, from Egypt to Mesopotamia, from the Americas to Asia, civilizations separated by oceans all looked up at the same sky. And many came to similar conclusions. They built temples aligned with solstices. They tracked the movements of planets. They named constellations and used them for navigation and farming. To them, the universe wasn't abstract science. It was life itself. So did ancient civilizations know more about space than we think? The answer might be yes and no. They didn't know about galaxies billions of light years away, or the physics of black holes, but they did know the rhythms of the stars and planets with an accuracy that still amazes us today. And maybe that's the lesson. Ancient people weren't just looking up at the night sky for entertainment. They were looking for meaning, for survival, and for connection. And in a way, that's something we've lost. Today, most of us barely notice the stars unless there's a big eclipse or a NASA headline. But to them, the sky was everything. So the next time you step outside at night, look up. Think about the Egyptians, the Mayans, the Dogon, and all the others who stared at the same sky long before us. Maybe they knew more than we think. Or maybe, just maybe, we've forgotten how to look. See you next time.